they obviously have to bring someone in for Lee Broxton. Regardless of who it is, it's going to be an unfamiliar central defensive partnership. How do you exploit that?
Well, how do you exploit that? We just have to try to play our game, and if we play our game, then they'll get under more pressure, and then that player has to deal with it, and that's how it works. And some players, even if it's the first game or if they haven't played on that position, deal with it. Some don't. I don't know. You can't predict that from beforehand. It's not that we're now going to aim things. No, we just have to play our game, and if we know that maybe there's a player playing there, then it's up to our players to be smart and see where we can profit from certain things of nervousness, but that's the same for us. So there are things that we have to be clever and football-wise.
Bruno Fornaroli, very different central striker to Josh Kennedy. Do you feel you've changed your attacking approach a bit to reflect the way he plays? And how did you feel about his debut in Sydney?
I think, you change a bit because of the type of player in the approach of how to try to get him onto the ball. But in the end, he's our number 9, and he has maybe some different qualities, certain qualities that we know that we have to use different by playing him in. I think, going back to the end of your question, that he's done well first game. So the second half especially, he was isolated. We didn't get too much forward, and it's difficult for a striker then to be much involved in the game itself, except then defending. And he was doing a good job in that. But we have to make more use of him by playing him in and getting him on the ball, because he's a strong player and he can hold the ball and make sure that the team then can push up coming into more attacking positions.
I know you generally like only talk about your own players, but obviously Besart Risha had a good record against you guys last year. What's the key to sort of shutting his influence down?
Well, it's not only shutting his influence down, it's because in the end he gets balls served from a certain area, so it's a whole package. But of course, we have to be very sharp and very aware of what kind of positionings he wants to take, and what kind and where the balls are coming from. So, and Victory have shown that they have different kind of ways of getting him into scoring positions. So that's with crosses, that's with forward runs, Finkler. So there are all kind of things that you're looking at, but again, the focus has to be also on how we want to play, and defensively we have to just be as part of the game. We have to be more and more focused on what can happen.
And you mentioned last season it obviously didn't go so well in 3 games at Etihad. Is there anything to the ground itself, or was it just a case of last year obviously Victory clearly were the best team in it because they won the grand final, so that's just, there's nothing sort of against you guys have against playing at Etihad, I suppose?
No, look, it's time that we try to change that. I think it's nothing against the ground, no excuses. Last year I think we had very good parts in the game that we lost as well, and then we lost, of course, some influential players, but and we went ahead 2-3 times in other occasions, but still gave the game away. So games are certain episodes, and we have to make sure that those episodes now go into our favor, and I think the Etihad doesn't have to deal with that. That's no excuse.
This might be a highly cliche question, but do your fans then have a part to play in that as well? Because obviously, Victory create a very boisterous atmosphere at Etihad Stadium, but I suppose if you've got enough there along to sort of even that out, it might sort of dull the effect a little bit.
We're happy with our fans. They show up in a big way, and we know, of course, Victory has a big crowd. They're a team that's in the league from the start, and we're working to that. but we're very happy with the fans we have, and they're making enough noise. So we just have to perform on the pitch and make sure that we get more fans. That's how it works.
Do you see that the last year's performances have, in some way, I guess, maybe shed that little sibling kind of mentality that certainly existed outside the club, that maybe some of the players might have thought, oh, we're a smaller club in Melbourne, but perhaps a better performance last year might have sort of shed that and sort of thought we're on our own path now?
I think we're on our own path, but some things take time. Being the second team in town, yeah, we have to. When you get results, when you win a prize, the people will start following more as well. And so it's. I think everything is in place that we have now as a club to get there. And now it's just winning something, and we hope to do that this year, and if not, next year. But we will, in the end, get there, and that's something that, of course, will help a lot in let's say getting the fans coming to support.
Aaron Hughes, he's back. How far away is he from being ready to play, able to play?
Just have to see how things work out this week, but hopefully 2-3 weeks time he will be available to train with the group, and then just have to see if he's ready to play a part of a game. But the medical department said 2-3 weeks.